Maidens, brides of shame, Troy is a smoke, a dying flame. Together we will weep for her. I call ye, as a wide-winged bird calleth the children of her fold, to cry. Ah, not the cry heard in Ilion, not the songs of old that echoed when my hand was true on Priam's scepter, and my feet touched on the stone one signal beat, and out the Dardan music rolled, and Troy's great gods gave ear thereto.
The door of one of the huts on the right opens, and the Trojan women steal out severally, startled and afraid.
How say'st thou? Whither moves thy cry, thy bitter cry? Behind our door we heard thy heavy heart outpour its sorrow, and there shivered by fear and a quick sob shaken from prisoned hearts that shall be free no more.
The ships that stir on the shore.
The ships awaken.
Dear God, what would they overseas? Bear me afar to strange cities.
Nay, child, I know not. Dreams are these, fears of the hope forsaken.
Awake, O daughters of affliction, wake and learn your lots. Even now the Argives break their camp for sailing.
Not Cassandra. Wake not her whom God hath maddened, lest the foe mock at her dreaming. Leave me clear from that one edge of woe. Oh, Troy, my Troy, thou diest here most lonely, and most lonely we, the living, wander forth from thee, and the dead leave thee wailing.
Out of my tent of the Greek king, I steal, my queen, with trembling breath. What means thy call? Not death, not death. They would not slay so low a thing.
Oh, 'tis the shipfolk crying to deck the galleys, and we part.
Nay, daughter, take the mourning to thine heart.
My heart with dread is dying.
A herald from the Greek hath come.
How have they cast me, and to whom a bondmaid?
Peace, child. Wait thy doom. Our lots are near the trying.
Argos be like Euripides, shall it be, or some lone island of the tossing sea, far, far from Troy?
And I, the aged, where go I? A winter frozen bee, a slave death-shapen, as the stones that lie hewn on a dead man's grave. The children of mine enemy to foster, or keep watch before the threshold of a master's door. I, that was queen in Troy.
And thou, what tears can tell thy doom?
The shuttle shall flit and change beneath my fingers, but the loom, sister, be strange.
Look, my dead child, my love, the last look.
Oh, there comes the worst. A Greek's bed in the dark.
God curse that night and all the powers thereof.
Or pitchers to and fro to bear to some Piran on the hill, where the proud water craveth still its broken-hearted minister.
God guide me yet to Theseus's land, the gentle land, the famed afar.
But not the hungry foam. Ah, never. O fierce Eretz, Helen's river, to bow to Menelaus' hand, that wasted Troy with war.
They told us of a land high born, where glimmers round Olympus's roots, a lordly river red with corn, and burned with fruits.
Aye, that were next in my desire to Athens, where good spirits dwell.
Where Aetna's breast, the deeps of fire, that front the Tyrian citadel. First mother she of Sicily and mighty mountains, fame hath told their crowns of goodness manifold.
And close beyond the narrowing sea, a sister land, where float enchanted Ionian summits, wave on wave. And Crathes of the burning tresses makes red the happy vale, and blesses with gold of fountains spirit-haunted homes of true men and brave.
But lo, who cometh? And his lips grave with the weight of doom, unknown, a herald from Grecian ships. Swift come he hot-foot to be done and finished. And what brighten he of news and judgment? Slaves are we, spoils that the Greek have won.
Talthybius, followed by some soldiers, enters.
Thou knowest me, Hecuba. Often I have crossed thy path with tidings from the Hellene host. 'Tis I, Talthybius. Nay, of ancient use thou knowest me, and I come to bear thee news.
Ah me, 'tis here, women of Troy, our long embosomed fear.
The lots are cast, if that is what ye feared.
What lord? What land? Ah me, Pythia or Thebes or sea-worn Thessaly?
Each hath her own, ye go not in one herd.
Say then, what lot hath any? What of joy falls or can fall on any child of Troy?
I know, but make thy questions severally.
My stricken one, must be still first. Say how Cassandra's portion lies.
Chosen from all for Agamemnon's prize.
How? For his Spartan bride, a tirewoman, for Helen's sister's pride.
Nay, nay, a bride herself for the king's bed.
The sainted of Apollo, and her own prize that God promised out of the golden clouds, her virgin crown.
He loved her for that same strange holiness.
Daughter, away, away, cast all away. The haunted keys, the lonely stoles array that kept thy body like a sacred place.
It's not rare fortune that the king hath smiled on such a maid.
What of that other child ye reft from me but now?
Lixina? Or what child meanest thou?
The same. What man now hath her? What doom?
She rests apart to watch Achilles' tomb.
To watch a tomb? My daughter? What is this? Speak, friend, what fashion of the laws of Greece?
Count thy maid happy. She hath naught of ill to fear.
What meanest thou? She liveth still?
I mean, she hath one toil that holds her free from all toil else.
What of Andromache, wife of mine iron-hearted Hector? Where journeyeth she?
Eurus, Achilles' son, hath taken her.
And I, whose slave am I? The shaken head, the arm that creepeth by, staff crutchet, like to fall.
Odysseus, Ithaca's king, hath thee for thrall.
Oh, beat the crownless head, rend the cheeks till the tears run red. A lying man and a pitiless shall be lord of me, a heart full flown with scorn of righteousness. Oh, heart of a beast where law is none, where all things change so lust be fed. The oath and the deed, the right and the wrong, even the hate of the forked tongue. Even the hate turns and is cold, false as the love that was false of old. Oh, women of Troy, weep for me. Yea, I am gone my ways. Mine is the crown of misery, the bitterest day of all our days.
Thy fates thou knowest, Queen. But I know not what lord south or north has won my lot.
Go seek Cassandra, man. Make your best speed, that I may leave her with the king and lead these others to their divers lords. Ha! There, what means that sudden light? Is it the flare of torches?
Light is seen shining through the crevices of the second hut on the right. He moves towards it.
Would they fire their prison rooms, or how these dames of Troy? For God, the dooms are known, and now they burn themselves and die rather than sail with us? How savagely, in days like these, a free neck chafes beneath its burden. Open! Open quick! Such death were bliss to them, it may be, but 'twill bring much wrath and leave me shamed before the king.
There is no fire, no peril. 'Tis my child, Cassandra, by the breath of God made wild.
The door opens from within, and Cassandra enters, white-robed and wreathed like a priestess, a great torch in her hand. She's singing softly to herself and does not see the herald or the scene before her.
Lift it high, give it to mine hand. Lo, I bear a flame unto God. I praise his name, I light with a burning brand this sanctuary. Blessed is he that shall wed, and blessed, blessed am I in Argos, a bride to lie with a king in a king's bed. Hail, O Hymen red, O torch that makest one. Oh, weepest thou, mother mine own? Surely thy cheek is pale with tears, tears that will wail for a land and a father dead. But I, go garlanded, I am the bride of desire, therefore my torch is born. Lo, the lifting morn, lo, the leaping of fire for thee. O Hymen bright, for thee, O moon of the deep. So law hath charged for the light of a maid's last sleep. Awake, O my feet, awake! Our Father's hope is one. Dance as the dancing skies over him where he lies, happy beneath the sun. Lo, the ring I make, Apollo. Ah, is it thou? O shrine in the laurels cold, I bear thee still. As of old, mine incense be near me now. Oh, Hymen, Hymen fleet, quick torch that makest one. How? Am I still alone? Laugh as I laugh, and twine in the dance, O mother mine, dear feet, be near my feet, come. Greet ye Hymen with songs of pride, sing to him loud and long, cry. Cry when the song faileth for the joy of the bride. O damsels, grit in the gold of Ilion, cry, cry ye for him that is doomed of old to be lord of me.
Oh, hold the damsel, let her traced feet lift her afar, Queen, thou Helen fleet.
Oh, fire, fire, where men make marriages, surely thou hast thy lot. But what are these thou bringest flashing? Torches savage, wild, afar from mine old dreams. Alas, my child, how little I then dreamed of wars or red spears of the Greek to lay thy bridal bed. Give me thy brand. It hath no holy blaze thus in thy frenzy flung, nor all thy days, nor all thy griefs have changed them yet, nor learned wisdom. Ye women, bear the pine half burned to the chamber back, and let your drowned eyes answer the music of these bridal cries.
Oh, mother, Fill mine hair with happy flowers, and speed me forth. Yea, if my spirit cowers, drive me with wrath. So liveth Loxias, a bloodier bride than ever Helen was. Go I to Agamemnon, Lord, most high of Hellas. I shall kill him, mother! I shall kill him, and lay waste his house with fire, as he laid ours. My brethren and my sire shall win again. But part I must let be, and speak not. Not the axe that craveth me, and more than me, not the dark wanderings of mother murder that my bridal brings, and all the house of Atreus down, down, down. Nay, I will show thee. Even now this town is happier than the Greeks. I know the power of God is on me, but this little hour wilt thou but listen, I will hold him back. One love, one woman's beauty o'er the track of hunted Helen made their myriads fall. And this their king so wise who ruleth all, what wrought he? Cast out love that hate might feed. Gave to his brother his own child, his seed of gladness, that a woman fled and fain to fly forever should be turned again. So the days waned, and armies on the shore of Simois stood and strove and died. Wherefore? No man had moved their landmarks. None had shook their walled towns. And they whom Ares took had never seen their children. No wife came with gentle arms to shroud the limbs of them for burial. In a strange and angry earth laid dead, and there at home the same long dearth, women that lonely died, and aged men waiting for their sons that ne'er should turn again, nor know their graves, nor pour drink offerings to still the unslacked dust. These be the things the conquering Greek hath won, but we, what pride, what praise of men were sweeter, fighting, died to save our people, and when war was red around us, friends upbore the gentle dead home. And dear women's hands about them wound white shrouds, and here they sleep in the old ground beloved. And the rest long days fought on, dwelling with wives and children, not alone and not joyless, like these Greeks. And Hector's woe, what is it? He is gone, and all men know his glory, and how true a heart he bore. It is the gift the Greek hath brought. Of yore men saw him not, nor knew him yet, and even Paris hath loved withal a child of heaven. Else had his love but been as others are. Would ye be wise, ye cities, fly from war, yet if war come, there is a crown in death for her that striveth well and perisheth unstained. To die in evil were the stain. Therefore, O mother, pity not thy slain, nor Troy, nor me, the bride. Thy direst foe and mine by this wooing is brought low.
I swear, had not Apollo made thee mad, not lightly hast thou flung the shower of bad bottings to speed my general o'er the seas. For God, the wisdoms and the greatness of seeming are they hollow all, as things of naught. This son of Atreus, of all kings most mighty, hath so bowed him to the love of his madden maid, and choseth her above all women. By the gods, rude though I be, I would not touch her hand. Look thou, I see thy lips are blind, and whatso words they speak, praises of Troy or shamings of the Greek, I cast to the four winds. Walk at my side in peace, and heaven content him of his bride. And thou shalt follow to Odysseus' host. When the word comes, 'tis a wise queen that goest to serve and gentle, so the Ithacans say.
How fierce a slave! Oh, heralds, heralds, yea, voice of death, and mists are over them of dead men's anguish like a diadem. These weak, abhorred things that serve the hate of kings and peoples. To Odysseus' gate my mother goeth, say'st thou? Is God's word as naught to me in silence ministered, that in this place she dies? No more, no more. Why should I speak the shame of them before they come? Little he knows that hard beset spirit what deeps of woe await him yet, till all these tears of ours and harrowings of Troy by his shall be as golden things. 10 years behind, 10 years athwart his way, waiting, and home, lost, unfriended. Nay, why should Odysseus' labors vex my breath? On, hasten, guide me to the house of death, to lie beside my bridegroom, thou Greek king, who deemst thy fortune now so high a thing. Thou dust of the earth a lowlier bed I see, in darkness, not in light, awaiting thee. And with thee there, where yawneth plain a rift of the hills, raging with winter rain, dead and outcast and naked, it is I beside my bridegroom, and the wild beasts cry and ravage on God's chosen. Oh, ye wreaths, ye garlands of my God, whose love yet breathes about me shapes of joyance mystical. Oh, be gone. I have forgot the festival, forget the joy, begone, I tear ye. So, from off me. Out on the swift winds they go, with flesh still clean, I give them back to thee still white. O God, O light that leadest me. Where lies the galley? Whither shall I tread? See that you watch be set, your sail be spread, the wind comes quick. 3 powers, mark me thou, there be in hell, and one walks with thee now. Mother, farewell, and weep not. Oh, my sweet city, my earth-clad brethren, and thou great sire that begat us, but a space ye dead, and I am with you, yea, with crowned head I come, and shining from the fires that feed on these that slay us now, and all their seed.
She exits, followed by Talthybius and the soldiers. Hecuba, after waiting for an instant motionless, falls to the ground.
The queen he watchers. See, she falls rigid without a word. Oh, sorry, thralls, too late. And will ye leave her down-stricken, a woman and so old? Rise her again!
Some women go to Hecuba, but she refuses their aid and speaks without rising.
Let lie. The love we seek is no love. this ruined body? Is the fall thereof too deep for all that now is over me of anguish, and hath been, and yet shall be? Ye gods, alas, why call on things so weak for aid? Yet there is something that doth seek, crying for God, when one of us hath woe. Oh, I will think of things gone long ago, and weave them to a song, like one more tear in the heart of misery. All kings we were, and I must wed a king. And sons I brought, my lord king, many sons. Nay, that were naught, but high, strong princes, of all Troy the best. Hellas nor Troas nor the garnered east held such a mother. And all these things beneath the Argive's spear I saw cast down in death, and shore these tresses at the dead men's feet. Yea, and the gardener of my garden great, it was not any noise of him nor tale I wept for. These eyes saw him when the pale was broke, and there at the altar Priam fell murdered, and round him all his citadel sacked. And my daughters, virgins of the fold, meet to be the brides of mighty kings, and behold, 'twas for the Greek I bred them. All are gone, and no hope left that I shall look upon their faces any more, nor they on mine. And now my feet tread on the utmost line, an old, old slave woman. I pass below mine enemies' gates, and whatso task they know for this age basest shall be mine. The door bowing to shut and open, I that bore Hector, and meal to grind, and this racked head bend to the stones after a royal bed. Torn rags about me, aye, and under them torn flesh. 'Twill make a woman sick for shame. Woe's me, and all that one man's arms might hold, one woman, what long seas have o'er me rolled and roll forever. Oh, my child, whose white soul laughed amid the laughter of God's light. Cassandra, what hands and how strange a day have loosed thy zone. And thou, Polyxena, where art thou? And my sons, not any seed of man nor woman now shall help my need. Why raise me any more? What hope have I to hold me? Take this slave that once rode high in Ilion, cast her on her bed of clay rock pillowed, to lie down and pass away wasted with tears. And whatso men they call happy, believe not ere the last day fall.
O Muse, be near me now, and make a strange song for Ilion's sake, till a tone of tears be about mine ears, and out my lips a music break.
For Troy in the end of the years, when the wheels of the Greek above me pressed, and the mighty horse hoofs beat my breast, and all around were the Argive spears.
A towering steed of golden rein, oh, gold without, dark steel within, ramped in our gates, and all the plain lay silent where the Greeks had been.
And a cry broke from all the folk gathered above the Ilion's rock. Up, up, O fear is over now. To Pallas we who have saved us living.
To Pallas bear this victory vow. Then rose the old man from his room. The merry damsel left her loom, and each bound death about his brow.
With minstrelsy and high thanksgiving, oh, swift were all in Troy that day, and girt them to the portalway, marveling at that mountain thing.
Smooth Cathern where the Argives isle, and wrath and Ilions vanquished, meet gifts for her, and sparing not heaven's yokeless rider. Up they brought.
Through the steep gates her offering, like some dark ship that climbs the shore on straining cables, up where stood her marble throne, her hallowed floor, who lusted for her people's blood.
A very weariness of joy fell with the evening over Troy, and lutes of Afric mingled there with Phrygian songs, and many a maiden,
with white feet glancing light as air, made happy music through the gloom, and fires on many an inward room, all night brooding, flashing, flung their glare on laughing eyes and slumber laden.
I was among the dancers there, to Artemis and glorying sang, her of hills and maid most fair, daughter of Zeus, and lo there rang a shout of the dark, and fell death-like from street to street, and made in the silence of Sidel, as a child cried, as if afraid, and hid him in his mother's veil. Then stalked the slayer from his den, on the hand of Pallas served her well. Oh, blood of Troy was deep about the streets and altars then, and the wedded rooms of sleep. Lo, desolate dark alone, and the headless things men stumbled on. And forth, lo, the women go, the crown of war, and the crown of woe, to bear the children of the foe, and weep for Ilion.
As the song ceases, a chariot is seen approaching from the town laden with spoils. On it sits a mourning woman with a child in her arms.
So yonder a heapest crest of a Grecian wain Adramach, as the one that o'er an unknown sea tosses, and her waves borne breast her loved one clingeth, Hector's child, Astyanax. O most forlorn of women, whither goeth through, borne, mid Hector's brazen arms and piled spoils of dead, and pageantry of them the haunted Ilion drawn? Aye, richly they new lord shall crown the mountain shires of Thessaly.
Forth to the Greek I go, driven as a beast is driven.
Woe, woe.
Nay, mine is woe, woe to none other given, and the song and the crown therefore.
Oh, Zeus.
He hates thee sore.
Children.
No more to aid thee, their strife is striven.
Troy is gone.
Yea, and her treasure parted.
Gone, mine own children, the noble-hearted.
Sing sorrow.
For me.
Sing for the great city that falleth to be a shadow of fire departed. Come to me, O my lover.
The dark shroudeth him over. My flesh, woman, not thine.
Make of thine arms my cover.
Oh, thou whose wound was deepest, thou that my children keepest. Priam, oh, age-worn king, gather me where thou sleepest.
Oh, here is the deep of desire.
How? And is this not woe?
For a city burned with fire.
It beateth, blow on blow.
God's wrath for Paris, thy son, that he died not long ago, who sold for this evil love Troy and all the towers thereof. Therefore the dead men lie naked beneath the eye of Pallas, and vultures croak and flap for joy. So love hath laid his oak on the neck of Troy.
Oh, mine own land, my home.
I weep for thee, left forlorn.
Seest thou what end is come?
and the house where my babes were born.
A desolate mother we leave, O children, a city of scorn. Even as the sound of a song left by the way but long remembered, a tune of tears falling where no man hears, in thy old house as rain for things loved of yore. But the dead hath lost his pain and weeps no more.
How sweet are tears to them in bitter stress and sorrow, and all the songs of heaviness.
Mother of him of old, whose mighty spear smote Greeks like chaff, seest thou what things are here?
I see God's hand that buildeth a great crown for littleness, and hath cast the mighty down.
I and my babe are driven among the droves of plundered cattle. Oh, when fortune moves so swift, the high heart like a slave beats low.
'Tis fearful to be helpless. Men but now have taken Cassandra, and I strove in vain.
Oh, woe is me! Hath Ajax come again? But other evil yet is at thy gate.
Nay, daughter, beyond number, beyond weight my evils are. Doom racist against doom.
Polyxena, across Achilles' tomb lies slain, a gift flung to the dreamless dead.
My sorrow. 'Tis but what Talthybius said. So plain a riddle, and I read it not.
I saw her lie, and stayed this chariot and raiment wrapped on her dead limbs, and beat my breast for her.
Oh, the foul sin of it! The wickedness! Oh, my child, again I cry to thee. How cruelly art thou slain.
She hath died her death, and how so dark it be, her death is sweeter than my misery.
Death cannot be what life is, child. The cup of death is empty, and life hath always hope.
O mother, having ears, hear thou this word, fear conquering, till thy heart as mine be stirred with joy. To die is only not to be, and better to be dead than grievously living. They have no pain, they ponder not their own wrong. The living that is brought from joy to heaviness, his soul doth roam, and as in a desert lost from its old home. Thy daughter lieth now as one unborn, dead, and not knowing of the lust and scorn that slew her. And I, long since I drew my bow straight at the heart of good fame, and I know my shaft hit, and for that I am the more fallen from peace. All that men praise us for, I loved for Hector's sake, and sought to win. I knew that alway there be hurt with it therein, or utter innocence to roam abroad hath ill report for women. So I trod down the desire thereof, and walked my way in mine own garden. And light words and gay parley of women never passed my door. The thoughts of mine own heart I craved no more, spoke with me, and I was happy. Constantly I brought fair silence and tranquil eye for Hector's greeting, and watched well the way of living, where to guide and where to obey. And lo, some rumor of this peace being gone forth to the Greeks hath cursed me. Achilles' son, for soon as I was taken for his thrall, so chose me. I shall do service in the hall of him that slew. How shall I thrust aside Hector's beloved face and open wide my heart to this new lord? Oh, I should stand a traitor to the dead, and if my hand and flesh shrink from him, lo, wrath and despite over all the house, and I a slave. One night, I, men have said it, maketh tame a woman in a man's arms. Oh, shame, shame, what woman's lips can so forswear her dead, and give strange kisses in another's bed? Why, not a dumb beast, not a colt will run in the yoke untroubled when her mate is gone. a thing not in God's image, dull, unmoved of reason. Oh, my Hector, best beloved, that being mine was all in all to me. My prince, my wise one, oh, my majesty of valiance. No man's touch had ever come near me, when thou from out my father's home didst lead me and make me thine. And thou art dead, and I wore flung to slavery, and the bread of shame in Hellas over bitter seas. What knoweth she of evils like to this, that dead Polixena thou weep'st for? There liveth not in my life any more the hope that others have, nor will I tell the lie to mine own heart that aught is well or shall be well. Yet, oh, to dream were sweet.
Thy feet have trodden the path, my feet, and thy clear sorrow teacheth me mine own.
Lo, yonder ships. I ne'er set foot on one, but tales and pictures tell when over them breaketh a storm not all too strong to stem. Each man strives hard, the tiller gripped, the mast manned, the hull bailed to face it, till at last too strong breaks the o'erwhelming sea. Lo, then they cease and yield them up as broken men to fate and the wild waters. Even so I in my many sorrows bear me low, nor curse nor strive that other things may be. The great wave rolled from the gods hath conquered me. But, oh, let Hector and the fate that fell on Hector sleep. Weep for him ne'er so well, thy weeping shall not wake him. Honour thou knew the Lord that is set above thee now, and make of thine own gentle piety a prize to lure his heart. So shalt thou be a strength to them that love us, and God knows it may be, rear this babe among his foes, my Hector's child, to manhood and great aid for Ilion. So her stones may yet be laid one on another, if the gods will, and wrought again to a city. Ah, but how thought to thought still beckons. For what minion of the Greek is this that cometh with new words to speak?
Enter Talthybius with a band of soldiers. He moves forward slowly and with evident disquiet.
Spouse of the noble's heart that beat in Troy, Andromache, hate me not. 'Tis not in joy, I tell thee, but the people and the kings have with one voice.
What is it? Evil things are on thy lips.
'Tis ordered this child. Oh, how can I tell her of it?
Doth he not go with me to the same master?
There is none in Greece shall e'er be master of thy son.
How? Will they leave him here to build again the wreck?
I know not how to tell thee plain.
Thou hast a gentle heart. If it be ill and not good news thou hidest.
'Tis their will thy son shall die. The whole vile thing is said now.
Oh, I could have borne my enemy's bed.
And speaking in the council of the host, Odysseus hath prevailed.
Oh, lost, forgive me. It is not easy.
That the son of one so perilous be not fostered on the manhood, onto manhood.
May his own counsel fall on his own sons.
But from this crested wall of Troy be dashed and die. Nay, let the thing be done. Thou shalt be wiser so. nor cling so fiercely to him. Suffer as a brave woman in bitter pain, nor think to have a strength which thou hast not. Look about thee here. Canst thou see help or refuge anywhere? Thy land is fallen, and thy lord and thou a prisoner, and alone, one woman. How canst thou battle against us? For thine own good, I would not have thee strive, nor make ill blood and shame about thee. Nor move thy lips in silence there to cast upon the ships thy curse. One word of evil to the host. This babe shall have no burial, but be tossed, naked. Peace. And bear as best thou may war's fortune. So thou shalt not go thy way, leaving this child unburied, nor the Greek be stern against thee, if thy heart be meek.
Go, die, my best beloved, my cherished one, in fierce men's hands, leaving me here alone. Thy father was too valiant. That is why they slay thee. Other children like to die might have been spared for that. But on thy head his good is turned to evil. O thou bed and bridle, the joining of the hand that led me long ago to Hector's land. To bear, not a lamb for Grecian swords to slaughter, but a prince or all the hordes unthroned of wide-flung Asia. Weepest thou? Nay, why, my little one? Thou canst not know. And father will not come. He will not come. Not once, the great spear flashing and the tomb riven to set thee free. Not one of all his brethren, nor the might of Hilion's wall. How shall it be? One horrible spring, deep, deep down in thy neck. Oh God, so cometh sleep, and none to pity thee. Thou little thing that curlest in mine arms, what sweet scents cling all around thy neck. Beloved, can it be all nothing, that this bosom cradled thee and fostered all the weary nights, wherethrough I watched upon thy sickness, till I grew wasted with watching? Kiss me, this one time, not ever again. Put up thine arms and climb round my neck. Now kiss me on the lips, lips to lips. Oh, ye have found an anguish that outstrips all tortures of the East, ye gentle Greeks. Why will ye slay this innocent that seeks no wrong? Oh, Helen, Helen, thou ill tree that Tyndareus planted, who shall seem of thee a child of Zeus. Oh, thou hast drawn thy breath from many fathers, madness, hate, red death, and every rotting poison of the sky. Zeus knows thee not, thou vampire draining dry Greece and the world. God hate thee and destroy, that with those beautiful eyes hath blasted Troy, and made the far-famed plains a waste withal. Quick, take him, drag him, cast him from the wall, if cast ye will. Tear him, ye beasts, be swift. God hast undone me, and I cannot lift one hand to save my child from death. Oh, hide my head for shame, fling me beneath your galleys' benches. Quick, I must be gone to the bridal. I have lost my child, mine own.
Oh, Troy, ill-starred for one strange woman, one abhorred kiss, how are thine hosts undone?
Come, child, let be that clasp of love outwearied. Walk thy ways with me, up to the crested tower above. Thy father's wall, where the decree thy soul shall perish. Hold him, hold. Would God some other man might ply these charges, one of duller mold, and nearer to the iron than I.
Oh, child, they rob us of our own. Child of my mighty one outworn, ours thou art. Can aught be done of deeds, can aught of pain be borne to aid thee? Lo, this beaten head, this bleeding bosom, these I spread as gifts to thee. Can this much? Woe, woe for Troy and woe for thee. What fall yet lacketh ere we touch the last dead deep of misery?
The child, who has started back from Talthybius, is taken up by one of the soldiers and borne back towards the city, while Andromache is set again on the chariot and driven off towards the ships. Talthybius goes with the child.
In Salamis, filled with the foaming of billows and murmurs of bees, all Talaman stayed from his roaming, long ago on the throne of seas.
Looking out on the hills all of laden, enchanted where first from the earth the grey gleaming fruit of the maiden Athena had birth.
A soft grey crown for a city beloved, a city of light. Yet he rested not there, nor had pity, but went forth in his might.
Where Heracles wanders, the lonely bow-bearer, and lent him his hands for the wrecking of one land only, for Ilion only, most hated of lands.
Of the bravest of Hellas he made him, a shipfolk in wrath for the steeds, and sailed the wide waters and stayed with him, at last amid Simois' reeds.
And the oars beat slow in the river, and the long ropes held in the strand. And he felt for his bow and his quiver, the wrath of his hand.
And the old king died, and the tower the Thebes had built did fall, and his wrath as flame that devour ran red all over.
And the fields and the woodlands lay blasted long ago. Yea, twice hath the sire uplifted his hand and downcast it on the wall of the Dardan, downcast it.
As a sword and as fire, in vain, all in vain. O thou mid the wine jars golden, that movest in delicate joy.
In Medes, child of Troy, the lips of the highest drain, the cup of thine hand upholden, and thy mother that bore thee,
Is wasted with fire and torn, and the voice of her shores is heard, wild as the voice of a bird, for lovers and children before thee.
Crying and mothers outworn, and the pools of thy bathing are perished, and the wind-strewn ways of thy feet, yet thy face as aforetime
Of Zeus, and the breath of sweet Ye, the beauty of calm is upon it. In houses at rest and afar by thy land, he hath wrecked and overthrowneth it.
In the wailing of war, O love, ancient love, of old to the Dardan given, love of the lords of the sky.
How didst thou lift us high in Ilion, yea, and above all cities, as wed with heaven. For Zeus, oh, leave it unspoken.
but alas, for the love of the morn of the milk-white wing, the gentle and the earth-loving, the shineth in battlements broken.
In Troy, and a people forlorn, in her bower is Tithonus, our brother, yet sleeps as of old. Oh, she hath loved us and known us.
And the steeds of her star, flashing gold, stooped hither and bore her joy, but all that made them to love us hath perished from Troy.
The king Menelaus enters, richly armed and followed by a bodyguard of soldiers. He is a prey to violent and conflicting emotions.
How bright the face of heaven, and how sweet the air this day that layeth at my feet the woman that Nay, 'twas not for her I came. 'Twas for the man, the cozener and thief that ate with me and stole away my bride. But Paris lieth this long day by God's grace under the horse hoofs of the Greek, and round him all his land. And now I seek to curse her. I scarce can speak the name she bears. It was my wife. Here with the prisoners they keep her in these huts among the hoar numbered slaves. The host whose labor and swords won her have given her up to me to fill my pleasure. Perchance kill her, or not kill, but lead her home. Methinks I have forgone the slaying of Helen here in Ilion. Over the long seas I will bear her back, and there cast her out to whatso rack of angry death they may devise, who know their dearest dead for her in Ilion. Ho, ye soldiers, up into the chambers where she croucheth. Grip the long blood-reeking hair and drag her to mine eye. And when they come, there is my long ship shall bear.
The soldiers go to force open the door of the second hut on the left.
Thou deep base of the world, and thou high throne above the world, where thou art, unknown and hard of surmise, chain of things that be, or reason of our reason. Gods, to thee I lift my praise, seeing the silent road that brings justice ere the end be trod to all that breathes and dies.
Who is there that prayeth heaven and in so strange a prayer?
I bless thee, Menelaus. I bless thee if thou wilt slay her. Only fear to see her visage, lest she snare thee and thou fall. She snareth strong men's eyes. She snareth tall cities, and fire from out her eateth up houses. Such magic hath she as a cup of death. Do I not know her? Yea, and thou, and these that lie around, do they not know?
The soldiers return from the hut and stand aside to let Helen pass between them. She comes through them, gentle and unafraid. There is no disorder in her raiment.
King Menelaus, thy first deed might make a woman fear. Into my chamber break thine armed men, and lead me wrathfully. Methinks almost I know thou hatest me. Yet I would ask thee what decree is gone forth for my life or death.
There was not one that scrupled for thee. All with one will gave thee to me, whom thou hast wronged, to kill.
And it is granted that I speak or no, in answer to them ere I die, to show I die most wronged and innocent.
I seek to kill thee, woman, not to hear thee speak.
Oh, hear her. She must never die unheard, King Menelaus, and give me the word to speak in answer. All the wrong she wrought away from thee in Troy, thou knowest not. The whole tale set together is a death too sure. She shall not scape thee.
'Tis but breath, and for thy sake, Hecuba, if she need to speak, I grant the prayer. Let her know it well for her.
It may be that, how false or truce, or thou deem me, I shall win no word from thee. So sore thou holdest me thine enemy. Yet I will take what words I think thy heart holdeth of anger, and in even part set my wrong and thy wrong and all that fell. She cometh first, who bare the seed and well of springing sorrow, and to life she brought Paris, and that old king who quenched not quick in the spark ere yet he woke to slay the firebrand's image. But enough. A day came, and this Paris judged beneath the trees 3 crowns of life, 3 diverse goddesses. The gift of Pallas was of war, to lead his east in conquering battles and make bleed the hearths of Hellas. Herod held a throne, if majesties he craved, to reign alone, from Phrygia to the last realm of the west, and Cyprus, if he deemed her loveliest, beyond all heaven, made dreams about my face, and for her grace gave me, and lo, her grace was judged the fairest, and she stood above those twain. Thus was I loved, and thus my love hath hope in Hellas. No fear, no fierce eastern crown is o'er your lands, nor no spare hath cast them down. Oh, it was a well for Hellas, but for me most ill, caught up and sold across the sea, for this my beauty, yea, dishonored from that which else had been about my head a crown of honor. I see thy thought. The first plain deed 'tis that I answer not, how in the dark of thy house I fled. There came the seed of fire, this woman's seed, came, a goddess great walked with him then. This Alexander, breaker down of men, this Paris, strength is with him, who thou whom, oh, false and light of heart, thou in thy room didst leave, and spread a sail for Cretan seas, far, far from me. And yet, how strange it is, I ask not thee, I ask my own sad thought. What was there in my heart that I forgot? My home and land and all that I loved, to fly with a strange man? Surely it was not I, but Cyprus there. Lay thou thy rod on her, and be more high than Zeus, and bitterer, who o'er all other spirits hath his throne, but knows her chain must bind him. My wrong done hath its own pardon. One word yet thou hast, methinks, of righteous seeming, when at last the earth for Paris hoped and all was o'er, and her strange music bound my feet no more. Why kept I still his house? Why I fled not to the Argive ships? How I strove to fly. The old gate warden could have told thee all, and my husband and the watchers from the wall. It was not once they took me with the rope tied, and this body swung in the air to grope its way toward thee from that dim battlement. Husband, still how shall thy hand be bent to slay me? Nay, if right be come at last, what shalt thou bring but comfort for pains past, and harbor for a woman storm-driven, a woman borne away by violent men, and this one birthright of my beauty, this that might been my glory, lo, it is a stamp that God hath burned of slavery. Alas, and if thou cravest still to be as as one set above gods and volatile, and 'tis but a fruitless longing holds thee yet.
O Queen, think of thy children and thy land, and break her spell. The sweet, soft speech, the hand and heart so fell, maketh me scared.
Meseems her goddesses first cry mine aid against these lying lips. Not Hera, nay, nor virgin Pallas deem I such low clay to barter their own folk, Argos and brave Athens, to be trod down the Phrygian slave, all for vainglory and a shepherd's prize on Ida. Wherefore should great Hera's eyes so hunger to be fair? She doth not use to seek for other loves, being wed to Zeus. And maiden Pallas, did some strange god's face beguile her, that she craved for loveliness, who chose from God one virgin gift among all gifts, and fleeth from the lips of love? Ah, deck not out thine own heart's evil springs by making spirits of heaven as brutish things and cruel. The wise may hear thee and guess all. And Cyprus must take ship, fantastical, sail with my son and enter at the gate to seek thee. Had she willed it, she had sat at peace in heaven and wafted thee and all Amyclae with thee under Ilion's wall. My son was passing beautiful, beyond his peers, and thine own heart that saw and conned his face became a spirit enchanting thee. For all wild things that in mortality have being are Aphrodite, and the name she bears in heaven is born and writ of them. Thou sawest him in gold and orient vest shining, and lo, a fire about thy breast leapt. Thou hadst fed upon such little things, pacing thy way in Argos, but now wings were come, once free from Sparta, and there rolled the Ilian glory like broad streams of gold to steep thine arms and splash the towers. How small, how cold that day was Menelaus's hall. Enough of that. It was by force my son took thee, thou sayest, and striving, yet not one in Sparta knew. No cry, no sudden prayer rang from thy rooms that night. Castor was there to hear thee, and his brother, both true men, yet not yet among the stars. And after, when thou camest to Troy, and in thy track Argos, and all its anguish and the rack of war, gods, perchance men told thee, now the Greek prevail in battle, then wouldst thou praise Menelaus, that my son might smart, striving with that old image in a heart uncertain still. Then Troy had victories, and this Greek was as naught. Always thine eyes watched Fortune's eyes, to follow hot where she led first. Thou wouldst not follow honesty. Thy secret ropes, thy body swung to fall far, like a desperate prisoner from the wall. Who found thee so? When wast thou taken? Nay, hadst thou no surer rope, no sudden way of the sword, that any woman, honest-souled, hath sought long since, loving her lord of old? Often and often did I charge thee, go, my daughter, go thy ways. My sons will know new loves. I will give thee aid to steal past the Argive watch. Oh, give us peace at last, us and our foes. But out thy spirit cried as at a bitter word. Thou hadst thy pride in Alexander's house, and oh, 'twas sweet to hold proud Easterns bowing at thy feet. They were great things to thee. And comest thou now forth, and hast decked thy bosom and thy brow, and breathest with thy lord the same blue air, thou evil heart? Lo, lo, with ravished hair, rent raiment, and flesh shuddering, and within, oh, shame at last, not glory for thy sin, so face him if thou canst. Lo, I have done. Be true, O king. Let Hellas bear her crown of justice. Slay this woman and upraise the law forevermore. She that betrays her husband's bed, let her be judged and die.
Be strong, O king. Give judgment worthily for thee and thy great house. Shake off thy long reproach, not weak, but iron against the wrong.
And Ida.
My thought doth walk with mine in one intent. 'Tis sure her heart was willing when she went forth to a stranger's bed, and all her fair tale of enchantments 'tis a thing of air. Out, woman! There be those that seek thee yet with stones. Go meet them, so shall thy long debt be paid at last. And ere this night is over, thy dead face shall dishonor me no more.
Behold, mine arms are wreathed about thy knees. Lay not upon my head the fantasies of heaven, and remember all and slay me not.
Remember them she murdered, them that fought beside thee and their children. Hear that prayer.
Peace, aged woman, peace. 'Tis not for her. She is as naught to me. March on before, ye ministers, and tend her to the shore, and have some chambered galley set for her, where she may sail the seas.
If thou be there, I charge thee, let her not set foot therein.
How shall the ship go heavier for her sin?
A lover once will always love again.
If he that loved be evil, he will fain hate it. How be it thy pleasure will be done. Some other ship shall bear her, not mine own. Thou counselest very well. And when we come to Argos, then, oh, some pitiless doom well earned, black as her heart. One that shall bind once for all time the law on womankind of faithfulness. 'Twill be no easy thing, God knoweth, but the thought thereof shall fling a chill on the dreams of women, though they be wilder of wing and loathed more than she.
He exits, following Helen, who is escorted by the soldiers.
And hast thou turned from the altar of frankincense and given to the Greek thy temple of Ilion? The flame of cakes of corn, is it gone from hence? The myrrh on the air and wretched towers gone?
And Ida, dark Ida, where the wild ivy grows, the glens that run as rivers from the summer broken snows, and the rock, is it forgotten where the first sunbeam glows, the lit house most holy of the dawn?
The sacrifice is gone, and the sound of joy, the dancing under the stars and the night-long prayer, the golden images and the moons of Troy, the 12 moons and the mighty names they bear.
My heart crieth, O Lord Zeus on high, where they all to thee as nothing, thou throne in the sky, throned in fire cloud, where a city near to die passeth in the wind and the flare.
Dear one, O husband of mine, thou in the dim dominions driftest with waterless lips, unburied, and me, the ships, shall bear o'er the bitter brine.
armed birds upon angry pinions, where the towers of the giants shine o'er Argos cloudily, and the riders ride by the sea.
And the children still in gait and crowd and cry and multitude dissolate, voices that float and wade as tears run dry.
Mother, alone on the shore, they drive me far from thee. Lo, the dip of the oar, the black hull on the sea. Is it the isle immortal, Salamis, waits for me? Is it the rock that broods over the sundered floods of Corinth, the ancient portal of Pelops' sovereignty?
Out in the waste of foam, where rideth dark Menelaus, come to us there, O wild and jagged, with wild sea light and crashing of oar blades. Come.
O thunder of God, and slay us, while our tears are wet from home, for home, while out in the storm go we, slaves of our enemy.
And God, may Helen be there, with mirror of gold, decking her face so fair, girl-like can hear, and stare, and turn death cold.
Never, oh, never more to the hearth of her home to see, nor sand of the Spartan shore, nor tombs where her fathers be, nor Athena's bronzen dwelling, nor the towers of Pitane.
For her face with a dark desire upon Greece, and shame like fire, and her dead are welling, welling from red Simois to the sea.
Talthybius, followed by 1 or 2 soldiers, and bearing the dead child, is seen approaching.
Ah, change on change. Yet each one racks his land with evil manifold. Unhappy wives of Troy, behold! Take bare the dead Astyanax, our prince, whom bitter Greeks this hour have hurled to death from Ilion tower.
One galley, Hecuba, there lingereth yet, lapping the wave to gather the last freight of Pyrrhus' spoils for Thessaly. The chief himself long since hath parted, much in grief for Peleus' sake. His grandsire, whom men say, Acastus, Peleus' son, in war array, hath driven to exile. Loath enough before was he to linger, and now goes the more in haste, bearing Andromache, his prize. 'Tis she hath charmed these tears into mine eyes, weeping her fatherland, as o'er the waves she grazed, and speaking words to Hector's grave. Howbeit she prayed us that due rites be done for burial of this babe, thine Hector's son, that now from Ilion's tower is fallen and dead, and lo, this great bronze-fronted shield, the dread of many a Greek that Hector held in fray, or nether in God's name. So did she pray, be this borne forth to hang in Peleus' hall, or that dark bridal chamber, that the wall may hurt her eyes, but here in Troy o'erthrown, instead of cedar wood and vaulted stone, be this her child's last house. And in thine hands she bade me lay him, to be swathed in bands of death and garments, such as rest to thee in these thy fallen fortunes, seeing that she hath gone her ways, and for her master's haste may no more fold the babe unto his rest. Howbeit, so soon as he is garlanded and robed, we will heap earth above his head and lift our sails. See all be swiftly done, as thou art bidden. I have saved thee one labor, for as I passed Scamander's stream hard by, I let the waters run on him and cleansed his wounds. See, I will go forth now, and break the hard earth for his grave, so thou and I will haste together, to set free our oars at last, to beat the homeward sea.
He leaves with the soldiers, leaving the body of the child in Hecuba's arms.
Set the great orb of Hector's shield to lie here on the ground. 'Tis bitter that mine eye should see it. Oh, ye Argives, was your spear keen, and your heart so low and cold to fear this babe? 'Twas a strange murder for brave men. For fear this babe some day may rise again his fallen land. Had ye so little pride? While Hector fought and thousands at his side, ye smote us, and we perished. And now, when all are dead and Ilion lieth low, ye dread this innocent. I deem it not wisdom, that rage of fear that hath no thought. Ah, what a death hast found thee, little one. Hadst thou but fallen fighting, hadst thou known strong youth and love and all the majesty of godlike kings, then had we spoken of thee as one blessed. Could in any wise these days no blessedness. But now thine eyes have seen, thy lips have tasted, but thy soul no knowledge had nor usage of the whole rich life that lapped thee round. Poor little child, was it our ancient wall, the circuit piled by loving gods so savagely hath rent curls, these little flowers, innocent, that were thy mother's garden, where she laid her kisses? Here, just where the bone edge frayed grins white above. Ah, heaven, I will not see. Ye tender arms, the same dear mould have ye as his. How from the shoulder loose ye drop and weak, and dear proud lips, so full of hope and closed forever. What false words ye said at daybreak, when he crept into my bed, called me kind names and promised, Grandmother, when thou art dead, I will cut close my hair and lead out all the captains to ride by thy tomb. Why did thou cheat me so? 'Tis I, old, homeless, childless, that for thee must shed cold tears, so young, so miserably dead. Dear God, the pattering welcomes of thy feet, the nursing in my lap, oh, the sweet falling asleep together, all is gone. How should a poet carve the funeral stone to tell thy story true? There lieth here a babe whom the Greeks feared, and in their fear slew him. Aye, Greeks will bless the tale it tells. Child, they have left thee beggared of all else in Hector's house, but one thing shalt thou keep, this war shield, bronzen barred, wherein to sleep. Alas, thou guardian true of Hector's fair left arm, how art thou masterless? And there I see his hand grip painted on thy hold, and deep stains of the precious sweat that rolled in battle from the brows and beard of him, drop after drop, a writ about thy rim. Go, bring them, such poor garments hazardous as these days leave. God hath not granted us wherewith to make much pride, but all I can I give thee, child of Troy. Oh, vain is man who glorieth in his joy and hath no fears, while to and fro the chances of the years dance like an idiot in the wind. And none by any strength hath his own fortune won.
Several women are seen approaching with garlands and raiment in their hands.
Lo, these who hear 3 maimons harvest from Ilion slain to fold upon the dead.
Hecuba gradually takes the garments and wraps them about the child.
Oh, not in pride for speeding of the car beyond thy peers, not for the shaft of war true aimed as Phrygians use, not any prize of joy for thee, nor splendor in men's arms. Thy father's mother lays these offerings about thee, from the many fragrant things that were all thine of old, but now no more. One woman, loathed of God, hath broke the door and robbed thy treasure house, and thy warm breath made cold, and trod thy people down to death.
Deep in the heart of me, I feel thy hand, mother. And is it he, dead here, our prince to be, and lord of the land?
Glory of Phrygian raiment, which my thought kept for thy bridal day with some far-sought queen of the east, folds thee forevermore. And thou, grey mother, mother shield that bore 1,000 days of glory, thy last crown is here, dear Hector's shield. Thou shalt lie down undying with the dead, and lordlier there than all the gold Odysseus's breast can bear, the evil and the strong.
Child of the shield bearer, alas, Hector's child, great Earth, the All-Mother, taketh thee unto her with wailing wild.
Mother of misery, give death his song.
Whoa!
Ay, and bitterly.
Whoa!
We too weep for thee and the infinite wrong.
Hecuba kneels by the body and performs a funeral rite, symbolically staunching the dead child's wounds.
And make thee whole. I bind thy wounds, O little vanished soul. This wound and this I heal with linen white. Oh, emptiness of aid. Yet let the right be spoken. This and nay, not I, but he, thy father far away, shall comfort thee.
Beat, beat thine head, beat with the wailing chime of hands lifted in time. Beat and bleed for the dead. Woe is me for the dead.
Oh, women, ye, mine own.
Hecuba, speak. Thine are we all, whoe'er thy bosom break.
Lo, I have seen the open hand of God, and in it nothing, nothing, save the rod of mine affliction and the eternal hate beyond all lands chosen and lifted great for Troy. Vain, vain were prayer and incense swell and bull's blood on the altars. All is well. Had he not turned us in his hand and thrust our high things low and shook our hills as dust, we had not been this splendor, and our wrong an everlasting music for the song of earth and heaven. Go, women, lay our dead in his low sepulchre. He hath his meed of robbing, and methinks but little care toucheth the tomb, if they that mouldered there have rich encerement. 'Tis we that dream, we living in our vanity.
Women bear out the dead child upon the shield, singing, when presently flames of fire and dim forms are seen among the ruins of the city.
Woe for the child, for the mother that bare thee, child, thread so frail of a hope so high, that time hath broken, and all men smiled about thy cradle, and passing by, spoke of thy father's majesty. Lo, lo, thou liest.
Ha! Who be these on the crested rock? Fiery hands in the dusk, and a shock, for torches flung with lingereth still, O wounded city of unknown ill, ere yet thou diest.
Ye captains that have charged to wreck this keep of Pirm's city, let your torches sleep no more. Up, fling the fire into her heart. Then have we done with Ilion, and may part in joy to Hellas from this evil land. And ye, so hath one word, two faces. Stand, daughters of Troy, till on your ruined wall the echo of my master's trumpet call in signal breaks. Then forward to the sea, where the long ships lie waiting. And for thee, O ancient women most unfortunate, follow Odysseus' men. Be here and wait to guide thee. 'Tis to him thou goest for thrall.
Ah, me. And is it come? The end of all, the very crest and summit of my days. I go forth from my land, and all its ways are filled with fire. Bear me, oh, aged feet, a little nearer. I must gaze and greet my poor town ere she fall. Farewell, farewell. Oh, thou whose breath was mighty on the swell of orient winds, my Troy, even thy name shall soon be taken from me. Lo, the flame hath thee, and we, thy children, pass away to slavery. God, oh gods of mercy! Nay, why call I on the gods? They know my prayers and would not hear them long ago. Quick, to the flames. Oh, in thine agony, my Troy, mine own, take me to die with thee.
She springs towards the flames, but is seized and held by the soldiers.
Back! Thou art darkened with thy miseries. Poor woman, hold her fast, men. Tell it please Odysseus that she come. She was his lot chosen from all and portioned. Lose her not.
He goes to watch over the burning of the city. The dusk deepens.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Though of ages, oh, whereabouts fleet thou, Lord of Philgian, Father that made us? 'Tis we, thy children. Shall no man aid us? 'Tis we, thy children. Seest thou, seest thou.
He seeth, only his heart is pitiless, and the land dies. Yea, she of the mighty cities perishes cityless. Troy no more shall be.
Whoa, 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 Ilion, shine afar. Fire in the deep thereof. Fire in the height above and crested wall of war.
As smoke on the wing of heaven climbeth and scattereth, torn of the spear and driven, the land crieth for death. O stormy battlements that red fire hath riven, and the sword's angry breath.
Hecuba kneels and beats the earth with her hands.
Oh, earth, earth of my children, hearken, and all mine own. Ye have hearts, and forget not, ye in the darkness lying.
Now hast thou found thy prayer, crying to them that are gone.
Surely my knees are weary, but I kneel above your head. Hearken, oh ye so silent, my hands beat your bed.
I am near thee, I kneel to thy dead to hear thee. Kneel to my own in the darkness. O husband, hear my crying.
Even as the beasts they drive, even as the loads they bear.
Pain, oh pain.
We go to the house of bondage. Here, ye dead, oh here.
Come, go and come not again.
Priam, mine own Priam, lying so lowly, thou in thy nothingness, shelterless, comfortless, seest thou the thing I am? Knowest thou my bitter stress?
Nay, thou art not to him. Out of the strife here come, out of the noise and shame make his eyelids dim. Death, the most holy.
Fire and smoke rise constantly higher.
Oh, high houses of gods, beloved streets of my birth, ye have found the way of the sword, the fiery and blood-red river.
Fall, and men shall forget you. You shall lie in gentle earth.
The dust as smoke riseth, it spreadeth wide its wing, it maketh me as a shadow, and my city a vanished thing.
Out on the smoke she goeth, and her name no man knoweth. And the cloud is northward, southward, Troy is gone forever.
A great crash is heard, and the wall is lost in smoke and darkness.
Ah! Marked ye? Heard ye? The crash of towers in that fall.
All is gone.
Wrath in the earth, and quaking, and a flood that sweepeth all.
And passeth on.
The Greek trumpet sounds.
Farewell. Oh, spirit grey, whatso is coming, fail not from under me. Weaklings, why tremble ye? Forth, where the new long day dawneth to slavery.
Farewell from parting lips, farewell. Come, I and thou. Whatso may wait us now, Greek ships and the seas foaming.
The trumpet sounds again, and the women go out in the darkness. Thank you for joining us for the Trojan Women. A big thanks again to our friend, Your Friendly Neighborhood Shakespeare. Visit him at his website, shakespeareapproves.com, or on Facebook at Shakespeare Approves, Your Friendly Neighborhood Shakespeare. We've got links to all of his content and more, such as his brunch time special repeat of The Tempest, a 3-hour tour, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. We would once again like to thank all of the actors who have volunteered to read this evening. Thank you so much. If you have enjoyed this reading, all of our past readings are available on our Facebook page and a little bit better organized on our website, zenithplayers.com. If you want more information on us, including how to be one of these readers, you can head to our Facebook page, Zenith Players, and send us a message, or send an email to casting@zenithplayers.com, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. We want to continue to express our support to everyone out there who is working to keep us safe and those continuing to protest and demonstrate. Join us Monday for Emma, and next Saturday as we return to Shakespeare